Okay, 4D golf. So if you haven't played this game before, it's your regular mini golf simulator, but with a little twist that you can slide your character's view through the fourth dimension. So you don't get a four-dimensional view of things, that would be quite confusing. You get your normal three-dimensional view, but instead of being able to move up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards, on top of that you also have the ability to move through what the game calls Anna and Carter, essentially two more directions in the fourth dimension. This can seem a little bit overwhelming at first, but you play for a little while, you get the hang of it, you play for a decent amount of time, and it'll just become second nature. You go, oh well, that's obviously a four-dimensional shape like this, I just need to rotate around my point of view to see it from this angle and roll up. Like every other golfing game that's ever existed on PC, I feel the point is to try and get an ostrich. For those that don't know golfing terminology, you have par. At 1 under par is a birdie, 2 under par is an eagle, 3 under par is an albatross. The very rare 4 under par is a condor. And if you could get a 5 under par, which has never happened in real life because it would require a hole-in-one on a par 6, but they have a term for it, it's an ostrich. And that's what we're trying to get in any golfing computer game ever. This one being no exception. So to get an ostrich, it's not just good enough to get a hole-in-one on any random hole. You need to at least start with a hole of length 6 or more. This narrows down our options to 5 potential courses, 4 of which are par 6. Of those 4 par 6, only 1 seems to have even the potential of getting a hole-in-one. From what I can see, again, there are many options in 4 dimensions, so it's perfectly possible that I missed something, but from having a look, I can only see this one as a possible hole-in-one, and you'd have to get an exceptionally lucky bounce off one of these little spinning rotor things, and look, realistically, I don't think it's possible. This leaves us with the other choice that you saw me playing at the start of this video, Marathon, which is a very aptly named par 11 slogfest. So as you can probably imagine, being a particularly large course and having the option of rotating through the fourth dimension, the course is riddled with potential shortcuts. The easiest one, I say easy, none of them are actually easy because of course you've got to go over and out of bounds area in order for it to be a shortcut. This is still the easiest of the ones because it's right near the start. So you get your ball placed in the same spot to start the map every time. With one controlled shot, you can pretty carefully end up with it in very close to the same spot every time. And then the second shot, line it up really carefully, get the power right, and you can shave, I think this shot shaves 2 off the overall result. So there are other shortcuts and I could stack them together in order to make a 5 under par, but of course the more shortcuts that you're taking, the more difficulty you're adding to the overall attempt, and it's pretty painful to make, say, 3 shortcuts in a row. All you have to do is make 1 more, like you're really setting yourself up for failure. So I have opted instead to look for a particularly big shortcut. Here's one that it took me quite a while to find. As you can see, I'm stroke 58, 59, still counting, looking for a way to get over. Once I actually find a way, hooray, it is actually possible. Now it's a matter of trying to refine that. So it takes quite a long time, but it's just a matter of dedication. So here, hey, got it at stroke 26. Time to try it again. For those that might be a bit confused, by the way, in 4-dimensional views, the course bending to the left and the course bending to the right is exactly the same. That's just a rotation in your view. It's one of those things that you get used to after a while, after playing enough of this game. But just in case you're wondering why sometimes it looks like I'm shooting to the left and sometimes to the right, it is actually the same jump that I'm attempting here over and over, just from slightly different angles. And just as a little aside, I so wanted to stick in a little snippet here of Doc Brown telling Marty McFly, you're just not thinking fourth dimensionally, but I don't actually know how copyright stuff works on YouTube. Yeah, you're just going to have to imagine that I stuck it in, or if you know how to do such things on YouTube without getting sued and without paying through the nose, then hey, let me know. I'd be curious and I'll incorporate that kind of thing into future videos. Okay, so at this stage I don't even want to try and count how many shots I've taken at trying to get good at this particular jump. Many anyway. But feeling that I was fairly confident now in being able to do it first try, I present my 4D golf ostrich attempt. Okay, so shot 1, nothing special. We just need to make it over this little lip here and set ourselves up for shot 2. Shot 2, we're not taking the shortcut that I showed previously. Again, we could, but it actually takes us past where our big shortcut begins and there's no way back. So we're putting everything into the one shortcut. So shot 2, just a normal shot down the line. You need to make sure that we're able to get across this bridge here on the next shot. One more aside there, you saw it go into what's called volume view. For those that haven't played, if you imagine a 2D person with like a scanning view, like that robot at the start of Aliens just scanning away, and we come along as a 3D person and tilt it on its side, then its view would be blocked at both extremes by the edge of the course. What we're doing is a 3D version of that where it all looks open and we do a sort of a 4D 90-degree rotation and suddenly we find ourselves enclosed on all sides. One of those things, again, you get your head around it after playing a little while, but just for those that aren't actually familiar with the game, I thought I'd explain what was happening. Okay, so this shot here is the important one, and we're taking a shot off the overall course, just set up our ball for the shortcut. In theory, we should be able to hit the ball from here over the shortcut and get to where we want to go, but because there's such a wide variation in positions we can end up at after rolling down that hill, I feel it's just sane to take one shot off and position ourselves exactly where we want to be so that we can have our best chance possible of getting over the shortcut. As you can see, even though I've done this jump a bunch of times and I'm now in the spot that I want to be in, I'm still really lining it up carefully because if I miss, of course, I have to restart. Conveniently, I don't miss. Hooray, over I go. And while it looks like I'm close to the hole here, actually when I adjust the map so that I've got the hole visible in my view and not just as a shadow in the fourth dimension, it's actually quite a long way away, but that's okay, we can make this shot. And voila, 5 under par, and it gives me a condor. I was very disappointed at this, but this isn't the first golfing game to not include the term ostrich. If you make a 5 under par, they just don't assume that you're going to be able to do it. Such is life, I guess. It's probably possible to shave even more off that course. If you want to go for more than 5 under par, feel free to let me know how you did it and how you went. But as I'm pretty sure any further amount under par is just going to be called a condor as well, I'm not going to go chasing any further subpars. And yeah, I think that's about everything. Video is pretty self-explanatory, I feel, but if you've got any questions, do feel free to ask, and I promise to get back to you before too long. Otherwise, good luck with your own mini golf adventures, and yeah, maybe I'll catch you around the fourth dimension sometime. See ya.